Before the internet, before cinema, there was still piracy. Not the kind with codes and firewalls, but the kind that thrived on open waters where trade met temptation and profit was taken, not earned. But time has a way of reinventing old habits. Today, the seas are digital, the ships are servers, and the loot isn't gold, it's data, art, music, and ideas. But what once required a crew and a cannon now only needs a screen and a signal. The motive hasn't changed. Take valuables without consent, and this being done by infiltrating servers, exploiting the desire for access, power, and profit. This is a story of how an ancient crime found new life in the modern world. The origin of modern piracy was traced by Nathan Fisk to the advent of the printing press, when improved equipment was introduced. The fast and efficient production, coupled with the low cost of reproducing text, led to the increase in dissemination of information. This invention yielded a dual outcome. It facilitated the sharing of knowledge while also enabling the unauthorized replication of books, foreshadowing the digital era. In recent times too, file-sharing networks, peer-to-peer platforms, and streaming services have made distributing music, movies, games, and softwares easy and transparent, at least for a while. Modern piracy, or respect to digital content, cost the global media industry over $75 billion annually, with forecasts predicting losses of about $125 billion by 2028, which is not nearly far-fetched. In 2023, there was an estimated 229 billion visits to piracy-related websites worldwide. While multiple industry analysts highlight that the younger generations such as Gen Z and millennials are heavily represented in such traffic, this is an unexpected twist. As many services giving access to on-demand entertainment were birthed and advanced during this era, yet the visible line between legal and illegal access is blurred. More alarming is the fact that 24% of global internet bandwidth is devoted to piracy-related activities, turning the internet into a sea, replacing prize with intellectual property. In regions where legal access to content is limited, such as the Philippines, where 70% of adults admit to consuming pirated content, to the extent that it has even become normalized, reshaping societal attitudes towards the respect of intellectual property. The impact of modern piracy stretches far beyond entertainment, or the simple act of downloading files. It cuts deeper into livelihoods, destabilizing industries and ultimately taking its toll on the consumers. In the United States alone, digital piracy gives rise to the loss of about 70,000 music industry jobs every year, affecting livelihoods from producers and sound engineers to small independent artists. Companies are not left out of the adverse effects, as a single breach costs about $2.4 million to eliminate and takes over 250 days to contain, roughly. Countries are aware of the destruction caused by piracy and are ready to combat this phenomenon with a mix of technology and enforcement. The Italian government introduced Italy's Piracy Shield, which serves as a mechanism for fighting against piracy by blocking infringing websites at the internet service provider level in approximately 30 minutes. Japan, on the other hand, has invested over 300 million yen in artificial intelligence tools for the monitoring and dismantling of illegal manga and anime networks. Recent European crackdowns have exposed streaming rings serving over 22 million users and generating roughly about 3 billion euros annually. Despite these enforcements, piracy continues to evolve, adapting faster than the system designed to stop it. The late 20th century witnessed the birth of peer-to-peer networks, P2P for short, such as Napster, LimeWire, BitTorrent, which reshaped the accessibility and distribution of digital files. These networks multiplied access to music, films, games, and software, while simultaneously ruining traditional economic models of film and music distribution, such as CDs or DVDs. The unregulated exchange of copyrighted materials transformed piracy from an isolated infringement into a systemic challenge, effectively redefining ownership in the digital economy. The rise of licensed streaming services such as Netflix, Spotify, and Amazon Prime Video in the late 2010s provided legitimate alternatives that diminished piracy's main selling point: convenience. This development met a significant decline in the prevalent rate of digital piracy across multiple sectors between 2013 and 2018, with music piracy experiencing the most abrupt drop following the use of services like Spotify and Apple Music, while film and television piracy only declined moderately due to the expansion of on-demand entertainment on numerous platforms. To fight this phenomenon, the government implemented domain blocking measures. The Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment, short for ACE, anchored the takedown of streaming sites. Mobile phones were optimized to ensure efficiency, performance, and ability to accommodate the use of streaming services. During this period, digital consumption behavior reflected a significant shift toward legitimacy supported by improved affordability and accessibility. However, the stability was short-lived. Media conglomerates began to pull their content from shared platforms to establish their own exclusive streaming service, reintroducing the very limitations the streaming revolution was designed to conquer, thus reinforcing the frustration of consumers. The need for variety, coupled with rising subscription costs, drove many subscribers back to pirated sources, revealing the gap between access and affordability. The illicit alternatives again began to thrive. And by 2023, digital piracy had resurfaced on a global scale at an alarming rate, and 24% of the global internet bandwidth was devoted to piracy-related activities, indicating its level of normalcy. Unlicensed streaming sites use torrenting as the dominant mode of infringement, particularly in sectors such as live sports and anime. Despite the implementation of artificial intelligence and the internet service providers being involved in blocking mechanisms, piracy persists. The internet now mirrors the lawlessness of maritime space, a vast digital ocean where intellectual property has become the new cargo. Let's begin with a basic question. How do streaming platforms really work? Do they host every movie ever made, or only those that belong to them? We already know the answer. Each streaming service carries only what it has the rights to show. This begs a bigger question. How many streaming services can a consumer realistically afford? How much of their income can be set aside just for entertainment purposes? When streaming began in the late 2010s, it carried with it an unspoken promise of convenience, one affordable subscription, variety of shows, and high-quality viewing all in one place. It was a solution to piracy, giving viewers legal access to entertainment without the stress, or so we thought. In recent times, prices skyrocketed, productions scattered across countless platforms. What felt simple has become expensive and exhausting. Meanwhile, another group of viewers enjoy the very same content for free, nor deal with limits, streaming what they want, when they want, contrary to what was peddled. Piracy sites function just as smooth and fast as legitimate platforms. The paying consumer is plagued by platform boundaries and can only see what their subscription allows. Failure to renew the subscription and boom, there goes your convenience. In all this, the pirate is as free as a bird, consuming whatever they choose. Now, how can we refuse to sympathize with the paying subscriber? The entertainment journey began with a simple sign-up, enthusiastic about the comfort, convenience, and access just for a small fee. One platform promised everything they loved. It was easy. It felt elite, almost uncool for the unsubscriber. But slowly, that convenience developed horns. The promise of ease began to slip away. New productions belonged to different platforms, each demanding a new payment at inconvenient times. The subscribers find themselves paying more than ever, yet watching less. Their favorite series are split across services. Shows disappear without warning, and the pleasure of choosing has spiraled into a jungle of software applications and renewal dates. Variety is the spice of life, and oh man, how deprived of spice they are. And then in a quiet moment of frustration, they end up on a pirated site, feeling left out. The irony is laughable. those who try to do the right thing end up punished. It should be easier, but guess who became a pirate?